Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Praisedscooter here. And look what time it is. It's time for you to piss and moan like a little bitch. That's right. I've got something new to rant about today on this episode of Son of a Bitch. Whatever this series still is. I think I'm still going with Son of a Bitch. I don't know yet. Regardless, today's issue is copyright. Now, it's not copyright from big companies coming down on us on YouTube and little people. No, not at all, actually. The issue today is other people on YouTube who have smaller channels. They're going and taking from larger channels. I've come across 3 examples, and I'm not going to give out names because I've been asked not to do so, even though on a previous take of this I called the people out. But, and here I go inflating my ego, if you want to call it that, whilst in a chat with Slim Kirby and his current girlfriend Fire Kitty, we came across a series of channels that are taking either content that is meant only for Slim Kirby, or taking the picture that was meant only for Slim Kirby, aka his current icon, or taking footage straight off his channel, full videos, putting it out on their own channel, and just so they can get by YouTube's auto checker, all they do is do like the rainbow color palette swap, or they speed it up. Yeah, go you! You're clever, except not. See, you do this and you think, oh, no one will ever find it, nobody will ever see it, and I'll just use it to leech some views off. No, not at all, you dumb son of a bitch. In fact, all you do is draw more attention to yourself, because if somebody searches Slim Kirby and your video comes up, that message eventually will get relayed to the person who has the original content, that, hey, somebody's using your video, is this you on another channel or not? And then guess what happens? The video owner comes to your channel, gets pissed, and tells you, hey, I did not say you could use this. Now, this is probably going to be posted as a video response to both Fire Kitty and Slim Kirby's rant video. So I'm going to cover some of the stuff that they did, so if I'm repeating, whatever, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Nope. But what's coming up here is, when using videos or content from other people, simply ask. Type a 30-second message. Open your mouth. Just ask. Generally, if you ask somebody if you can use something that they've perfected or something that they've made, 9 times out of 10, especially on YouTube, someone will say, yes, that's okay, you may use it. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, there's some people who've got to stick up their ass and they're like, no, you cannot use my stuff. I don't know what noise that was. But generally, a lot of people on YouTube will say, yeah, it's okay, just make sure you credit me in it. Like, say, it's content originally belongs to somebody. I actually did this with another person's video, and with another person's video, Sonic Spinball, if you remember, last part of that, I basically put the person's channel and name up there in nice big bold text, so you knew exactly where to go, and that way you knew it wasn't my content, it was somebody else's. And if that person stumbles across my video and sees that, they'll generally be okay with it. If not, I would take the content down and I would redo it. Simple as that. That's another thing. That's another thing that has come up with this series of events as well. If somebody who owns the content notices that you've used their content and asks you, please take it down, I did not give you permission for this, do it. It saves you a lot of trouble in the long run. Now, the channels that we've come across before, what they're doing is they're either deleting the comments that have been posted in videos that say, please remove this, I did not give you permission, or they're marking it as spam, or they're doing something so that way it's not seen by the general public. And they're also trying to cover up their tracks. Now, me, I'm usually a pretty easygoing guy. There's very little that gets me pissed off, which you probably would think the opposite, and there's so many of these rants on my channel so far. So there's like 5 now, and I've only had this series going for like 3 months. But when you take someone else's content and don't even think to credit them, that gets my shit on fire, as I tend to say. You're taking somebody else's hard work that they spent a lot of time on. You're claiming it as your own just to get an easy ticket. And you know what? I bet those people that are doing this haven't even gotten that easy ticket. Because all they're getting right now is a bunch of flags from the original owners. That's all they're getting. So, what can you do? I've already gone over this, but what can you do to prevent this kind of thing? Like I said, first of all, ask. Just ask them. 2, if they say no, don't go ahead and do it anyway. They've told you don't do it. They said, please don't use my content. Even though it may have been a little more abrupt, like, hey, fuck you, don't use it. Don't use their content. That all it's going to do is make them even more angry. And kind of a sub note onto this. If somebody asks you not to use their content and you go ahead and use it anyway, you pretty much need to have yourself prepared to take legal actions. YouTube has this written on their copyright claim page as well, that if this content is if you decide to counterclaim this or claim copyright someone, that you must be prepared to go to court. So even YouTube says what I'm saying. So if you plan to just go over what the other person's saying and use their content, be prepared to go to the highest extenses. It may not get there, but it might. Fair warning. And the biggest, and like I said, the biggest one, if you use some content and somebody's like, hey, take it down, I don't want it, just take it down. Don't hide behind it. Don't block their comment, because they're just going to get even more pissed. I mean, I'm not going to give names. I'm just going to tell you that a combination of Slim Kirby and Fight Kitty have gone through these actions already, and have already had some person's videos that contain Slim Kirby's content pulled down off their channel because they did not ask permission. And if they put any more of that content on their channel is gone. Copyright is a very serious thing, guys. Not just out in the real world with music and full feature films, but also here on YouTube. Using the content of somebody else, YouTube will stand behind that person and will just take your channel down if you do it more than once. That was my rant for today, guys. I need to get that off my chest. Just ask people if you can use their content. That's really it. That's really all it boils down to. And also, I mean, I guess I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but there's 2 different kinds of ways. There's 2 ways of using someone's content, or 3 ways of using someone's content. But those ways can be very blurred, or 2 of those ways can be, the line of that can be blurred with the 3rd way, which will make them angry. Blatant stealing is the one way of using somebody's content. That makes them angry, no question. Parody. Using somebody's content to parody them in some way, if you you should still let that person know you're doing it. But if it's used in a way to obviously parody that person, more or less, they're not going to be angry. In fact, they'll laugh at themselves because you're parodying them. But the other one that you can use, which is really, really blurring the line, and it's more or less upon the person you get and how you present it, which will consider if you're flattering the person. Flattery will get you somewhere. Where it gets you depends upon the person. Like, an example of this is top X moments from person Y. Like, they're out there all the time. Like, top 10 moments of Chugga Conroy. I don't think he's gone. I don't think Chugga Conroy's gone and asked the people to take those movies down because it's flattery. So there are good ways and bad ways to do that. Just, again, I've said it 5 times now. Let's say it's 6. Ask people if you can use their content. I have some plans for content from other users on myself that I might use every now and again, depending upon if the opportunity presents itself. If I use it, I'm going to send them a message and ask them if I can use their content. Why? Because they made it. Simple as that. Now, I do apologize about the length of this rant. That's basically about the same thing. And I'm sorry that this has also cost you your Happy Wheels for Sunday. But it's a point I wanted to get out and a point that I needed to get across. So, again, I'm sorry about that. Thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow for Sonic Generations. I'll see you.